Have you ever wanted to know the secret of fitting a drawer perfectly with a piston fit? Well, stick around. We've got an episode for you. Thank you so much for stopping by the shop. Welcome. It's always good to have you here. And I also wanted to celebrate tonight. This is our 200th Shop Night Live. I can't believe it's been that many, but it's
amazing.
Been, what, over 4 years, right?
Amazing.
We've done
yes,
more
4.5 years.
Whew.
4.5.
So some of you I know are gluttons for punishment and have been here for almost every one. Is there anyone who has been here for all of them? I can't imagine anyone.
I'm sure there is.
Would suffer that.
Yes.
But thank you.
That's a lot. That's like 45 to 47 a year episodes or so, I guess, if we would.
Yes, thank you so much. So if you haven't seen it, we wanted to celebrate by giving a special deal to the neighborhood. And we're redoing actually a course called the Shaker End Table, which is actually an amazing fundamental course. It's the entry-level furniture making course of Epic Woodworking. And just to see it real quick, well, I don't have it exactly, but it looks it looks like this, except the base is not milk painted, it's real cherry. Although you could make it that way. So it's a very straightforward, but has a lot of integrity, fun project to make.
Yeah, if you're curious, there's information in the description below. You'll see a picture of it there in the whole bit.
Yes, and we have a
there.
very special offer to be part of the neighborhood for that whole course and get that whole course and check out the neighborhood. Also, if you like this content, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing as always. Thanks for being here. Let's get to it. I have been, just came out of 2 courses. We did this shaker side table with a drawer. So it was a little different version of the shaker end table with a drawer that some of you have seen before because it's a little lower. It only measures in height just under, it'll be right around 24.5 inches high when it's finished. So that's a really great size for next to a sofa or your easy chair, because you don't want it that added height of our bedside table, which you want it to be a little lower than the armrest on your sofa. Also, you want it deeper than the side table was. That end table with a drawer was just 18 inches deep. This side table is 24 inches deep for next to a sofa. So
and
by
the top.
I don't have the top. I wanted you to see the mechanism. Plus, I'm not attaching it right now. But what that does is it gives us a deeper drawer pocket. That's not an official term. I just made that up. So you have to make a much longer, deeper drawer. And so this is very familiar to some of you who have been here for a week in the last 3 weeks. Thanks for coming. I had an amazing time. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of work. This is a challenging, chock-full project to make in a week. But if you check out over here, because I had 2 weeks of classes, I have 2 tables going. And I glued up, and this drawer is not quite fitted. It's just on the side so far. And the knob is just there for show. I'll put that in after finishing. This one, however, was just glued up today, this drawer. So it took me I timed myself roughly, it took me just under 2 hours to start to finish to make that drawer and glue it up and get it to this spot. So and I didn't make any major mistakes, so woohoo! No. So anyway, this one needs to be fitted now to this opening. Now, there's one major secret to fitting a drawer to get that piston fit if you're going to make your own drawers, and that is to cut the parts to the right length. Okay? Now the drawer sides, of course, those don't really affect things. I just cut my drawer sides about a 1/2 inch more shallow than the depth to allow a little room behind there for the stops. The drawer fronts, though, the side to side must be correct. When making a well-fitting drawer, you need that channel to be parallel, dead parallel, front to back. So these front pieces and the back are all indexed off of the stops and cut to length at the same time, and then all these shoulder cuts are made at the same time. So you end up with a very parallel channel. This one's just 13 inches wide, and the drawer ends up being a little over 3 inches in height. So here's the thing. When you cut your drawer front and back, it should be a press fit. It should fit gently, so it's just like just a squeeze. So that one's not even that tight, but it could even be a touch more than that, which I actually did on my real drawer. But just to show you, there's no play side to side, but you want to press fit that in. And if I lay this down in this channel, see, it's binding pretty well. It tracks really nicely all the way back. So we've got a nice parallel channel and a snug fit in length to the front and the back. And of course, these are cut with the same stop. Then what you do is you set up your marking gauge, and I have this little knife marking gauge. I set it up to the thickness of my material, because that will be coming in to the side. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong marking gauge. Okay, I don't know. I assume you really zoomed in because you are literally 2 inches from my fingers. All right. Jeez, I should do my nails.
There you go. I can see it.
All right. So you can see that marking gauge knife is just overlapping the edge of the drawer side. And that's the thickness of our material. So you want that knife to be slightly thicker than your drawer side material so that when you make your drawer and you glue it up and you put a little clamp pressure on there to seat these dovetails should be slightly proud, these pins. And they are. I can feel the pins risen. Now, some of you jumped ahead. You know why they are proud? If you just skim those flush, you will then have removed just that little margin of material, front and back, so those pins are a little proud as well. And that will give you very little play side to side and a really nice sliding drawer. Now, if I try it right now, I haven't done anything. It's kind of tight. I can't, well, I can get it in. Okay, I can get it in, but see that press fit at the front? That's actually good to show you. So that's fitting nicely in the front. But now I just need to plane the sides. So let's come on back here. I'm going to use this special little holder for my drawer to plane these, and it's got to be shorter than your drawer is long, because it works like a bench hook. Like a bench hook. Did I? Did my voice go funny there? Like a bench hook. Yeah, it's that's that puberty
You
thing.
are among friends.
Excuse me.
We know you're past all of that.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to put my bench hook in here, and I want this to overhang just about or a little over 3 inches for the width of the drawer. By the way, progress is being made on the workbench project. I am finalizing I've been in touch with the vice provider, and we are on track. They just started shipping their final design, and I like it a lot. I think you're going to like it too. So that course will be early 2024, and if you're in the neighborhood, you know you already have access, so it's going to be pretty awesome. I was thinking about that because I'm going to be glad to stop fussing with this vise. And I'm going to make a correction. You know, I'll put in the best for this kind of work. Now, let's get back to it. I've got this drawer with these pins proud. I'm going to just shave them off. I could do this with a block plane, any number of planes, a larger low angle. I'm going to use my standard number 5 because I like my number 5. And I'm going to just set this on here and work in so I don't tear out. Can you see what's happening? Look at, that's end grain shavings of these pins. I'm going to go until I'm flush. Until I'm feeling flush too. Go till you're feeling flush.
That's good.
I said that
Dad
enough. Like, that's good. You said that enough. Is that why?
No, I didn't mean it. That's
Oh.
good, meaning enough. I meant that's a good joke.
Usually laughter is the affirming
Yeah.
quality there, not, oh, that's a good joke. When people say that, it's usually not a good joke.
you're right.
All right, so that feels flush and fine. And look at how the color came out.
So pretty.
And now I'm going to turn it around. And I've got these pins are a little proud.
A little picture of that color.
So here we go. I'm going to just tap, tap. Just knocking the pins down.
Nice.
That feels flush. I'm feeling flush. There it is. So now I'll hit the other side while I'm here. See how easy this bench hook is? If you're doing a chest of drawers, I did discuss this in that course too. It makes it so easy because you don't have to clamp it every time. You've got a free hold on that. The reason it's narrower, the other dimension, is to do the front and the back. All right, so that's feeling flush as well. That feels great. I'm tempted just to go down the whole side, but I will resist for now. All right, now I'm going to turn.
Tom, what's the wood on that drawer side?
This is actually white pine. So in the course, I give the students the premium. So, excuse me. So this is not the finest piece, but it's nice. So this one, for some reason, isn't quite as proud, but that's okay. I'll just take the pine down a little if I need to.
So Stuart's got a question. When you make a mistake like he did last week, and the pins are not quite proud, how does a bloke fix that? He says.
Stuart, we're not here to talk about your mistakes.
Stuart was here for the class last week.
How can... Blimey, man. All right, I know that's the wrong thing to say. Here's what you do. If your side is proud and your pins are not proud, you're a little shy there. You're going to feel flush a different way. The way you're going to achieve flush is to plane your sides. So I recommend, I won't give you a quick demo until I test this, but you want to chamfer your corner and then take full passes until you start to touch and feel the pins come flush. That's what you want to do. A few skims, take it easy, and then let's step over here and see how it fits. You will do the same thing because your drawer is not going to fit with your sides proud. If your front was tight, you're going to have to plane the thickness off until you get to... That's why we like the pins proud, because it's a lot less work to get it to fit. Oh, isn't that nice?
So,
Look how little play there is in the front. I can
Question.
hardly even move that.
are they through in the back and blind in the front? Is that what you're doing there?
Yes, very
you.
typical of a traditional drawer. They are through in the back.
Wait, hang on. Okay.
See that? A little glob of glue. I'm going to fix that in a second. And they are half blind in the front. You see them from the side, but not the front. This is very typical of drawer construction.
Okay. Are you going to put kickers in, Tony's asking?
Yes, I am, Tony, but I didn't want to put those in quite yet because we are, I wanted you to see everything that's happening here. So,
What about wood movement? Is that leaving enough for all of that? I'm sure
very good question. The wood movement happens across the grain, as you know. So here's my grain direction. So I'm going to have expansion and contraction in this direction. This drawer is only just over 3 inches. Now, right now, I have very little play. So I'm going to adjust for that right now. Now, this is summertime. We've had some of the most humid weather that we've had here in a while. So I can relax a little knowing that this wood is expanded to probably its max right now. And so in the summertime, you can fit your drawers with a closer tolerance because you know come winter, when everything dries and shrinks and all the doors start fitting nicely in your home, your drawers will not be stuck. So in the winter time, when everything's dry and at a smaller, you have to allow for more movement. But fortunately, we are dealing with the most stable wood in North America, white pine. And it's cut on it's riffs on. So it's fine. The only piece I'd have to worry about is the drawer front. And you can see that's mostly riffed as well by the linear grain coming across here. All right, let's just finish up some of this top. I'll give you a few other pointers to it fitting well, but that's the main thing, the snug fit to the parts and skimming off the pins.
Do you have any sense of what kind of gaps you shoot for, Tom?
I'm shooting for like a 30-second gap right now. That's pretty small, but what I do is, let's turn this around. I'll talk and chew gum at the same time. So we are going, I just make like about a 32nd of an inch in the summertime. And depending on the width of the drawer, you might leave a 16th in the summer when you're making the drawer. Did I say that
Yeah,
right?
well,
Yeah.
Ron's in Texas, so it's a
No,
little
in
more.
the winter, you may have to leave more room. Who's in Texas?
Ron, he's
Oh.
asking from 111 degree weather probably right now.
Sorry, Ron.
So, is that New Hampshire tolerances or Texas tolerances? Anyway.
Well, Ron, Texas is, yes, that is very humid. I have made chest of drawers that were actually shipped to Houston, one of the most humid, as you know, cities in Texas. And I was panicked about that. So I actually laminated my drawer sides so I wouldn't have a callback. It's a hard callback to go to Houston. So I haven't had one. But you're going to have more movement. In the winter, I don't know what it's like there, but I don't think you get the dry weather. I think it's pretty humid there all year round. Is that true? However, I think it's drier than the summer. So you're going to want to definitely make accommodations for that and not fit them too tightly in the winter. All right, check this out. Now I'm on the back. Okay. So I just want to shave these pins down a little bit. Okay. And then this one. I really go through all of this in the chest of drawers course, as you know, and the shaker end table with a drawer. We didn't get quite to this part. We got our drawers all glued up, but we had so much fun. We were needing to let the glue dry before fitting, so that's why Stuart has not fit his drawer yet. The glue's dry now, Stuart. You're okay. So I'm going to turn this around and let's just skim this in. All right, so see how that gets really nice and creamy. These are nice and flush. Not as appealing though, so, but there you have the classic pins showing through. Now I do want to touch the surfaces, so it's fitting quite tightly right now, and this is where you can take a block plane and, let me set this a little stronger. This is funny. And just go right on around. Hopefully I'm in the favorable grain direction here.
Peter's asking why you aren't using quarter sawn for maximum stability.
Well, I'm almost quarter sawn, Peter. I've got rift. And this is a small drawer. It's not going to move that much. Even plain sawn in white pine does not move that much. And you can't always use rift and quarter. The regular cathedral figure looks nice on a drawer front too. But see, I'm coming across and I'm getting this nice and clean and flush all around. My drawer back is slightly lower, and that's okay. But I sometimes have that flush, but I have it. It's nice when it's lower. You don't know it's not going to cause any binding.
Tom Scott says he's currently fitting a tiger maple drawer front into a cherry table, and he comments on gaps for mixed species.
It depends on, obviously, the species that are being mixed. You can look online and do a search on relative, what's it called? Wood movement in general by species, and you're going to see how much they move tangentially and radially. So radially is like quarter sawn, tangentially is flat sawn. So you're going to see that typically the tangential number is twice that of the radial. So quarter sawn moves roughly half as much, but you're still talking very small increments. If your species are very close in movement, then you know if the grain is all in the same direction, you'll be fine. So anyway, let me just finish this. I'm going to turn this on the bottom. I hope that answered the question. Check this out. I'm going to go down now the side and see down at the very bottom. Can you see this?
Yeah.
At the back, I'm going to just round over, or what we call ski tip, the ends. So you've got that little round. So it's like on ski tips when it's sliding into the drawer opening on the runners. I'm just cleaning off the table saw marks I can see here, and I will ski tip this end.
Craig's asking, what do you do for wide drawers where the grain isn't all quarter sawn or rift sawn?
You just kind of split the difference. I mean, if you're doing calculations, you mean? If you're doing calculations and you have a mix, well, just figure somewhere between the two factors of numbers. I don't worry about it that much because, I mean, I've done this a while, and I know that you'll see. It's nice if it's in your home because you can track it, and you'll see how little a drawer like this actually fluctuates. It is the wider drawers that give you the problem. But let's check it out now. So we've got all this flush. We're ski tipped. All our ends are flush. And now, ooh, look at it. I'm getting the very slightest right there. So I'm trying to see what that is. I think it's just up at the front, the pine. So I can go back here. Maybe I don't have to change it. And I'm just going to plane a little bit of my side. Right in this area. And have I talked about how much fun it is to plane white pine? I believe I have. If you're starting out planing, do yourself a favor and use white pine. You'll really enjoy it. This one is going the other direction. Let's see if I can lean on it back here. And I got a lift. I do not want to go off the end or I could tear out. All right, let's give it another shot. Ooh.
Are you going to wax those runners, Tom?
Yes, what I do is I finish the interior with shellac. So just all this inner slides and the guides and the kickers above get shellac, and then they get lightly sanded and waxed for a beautiful finish. Now the last thing I would do on this drawer, which I'm not going to be able to do right now for time, but this drawer would have its stops put in at the back. Sometimes you need your stops at the front because of grain direction, but if you look on the side, the grain direction of the side is the same direction as the drawer side. So wood, regardless of the species, hardly moves at all along the length. That's why our drawer front is going to fit and stay nice side to side. But it means also that we could put the stop in the back because we're not going to be having that change. And I just glue a little pine stop back in that corner. I'll just plane it until it hits. I've got to take a little off that stop because I'm proud here by a little less than a 16th. So I take a little off that stop, glue it in on both sides, and then I'll be sitting just flush. If I'm just a little stops in there like that, I actually glue it a little higher so it won't collide with the drawer bottom that may be sticking out the back. I used a plywood actually custom made with white pine veneer for that top. All right, well, that was a crash course in fitting a drawer perfectly. I hope you enjoyed that. Of course, we go in more depth with these in some of the courses if you really want to take a deeper dive and make a piece of furniture. That is by far the most immersive experience that will really help you get further in your woodworking skills. Wouldn't you say? I am so for projects. As long as I've been watching you,
I would totally agree.
That's why we have so many projects and why the list just keeps growing. We're so excited. Thank you all who are in the neighborhood. That helps build the base to really start building some excellent content, because I want to just keep going further and serving you, the neighborhood, primarily. So thanks for being part of that. It helps a lot. Hey, that's it for tonight. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. And if you want to be part of that special course, well, check it out in the notes below, right? Where it says more.
Yep.
Thanks so much for being part of our 200th episode. On behalf of the camera lady and myself, we look forward to seeing you next time, right back here on Shop Night Live. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for being with us.